Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, storms that had moved across the state this evening, long gone.
Weather Authority Rich Luderman giving us a look outside right now. Rich?
It's muggy out there. The heat is down, but the storms are gone as well. They're way off to our east across the Niagara Peninsula, close to Niagara Falls. There are still a few showers back off to our west, so we could see some spotty showers for the rest of tonight. I'll show you some live pictures from Niagara Falls. They have the wet weather there. Beautiful sight for sure. Even some flashes of lightning there in the distance. But look at this. Earlier today, we were at 95 degrees. That's the third time this summer we've hit 95. 95 for Kalamazoo and for Fort Wayne. Not quite as hot up around Ludington and Escanaba with numbers there in the lower 80s. But read it and weep. 95 degrees the high today. There's the record for today, 105. Your averages 84 and 65. But certainly those storms this evening for some spots brought the heavy downpours and the gusty winds. Other places down through Lenawee and Monroe counties did not see a lot of wet weather, but the breeze right now is pretty light. The humidity remains, but certainly the temperatures have been knocked down. Look at this. Dew points for a lot of us up near 70. There's 85 in Columbus right now. Remember, a few hours ago, we were in the 90s. Now we're in the middle 70s. Watch what happens to our weak cold front. There it is, and there it goes. So tomorrow and Saturday will not be as hot. Still on the muggy side, and yes, it's still going to be warm, but we're going to see thunder shower chances for Friday and especially for Saturday with this old front hanging around the southern Great Lakes. For the rest of tonight, pretty quiet, perhaps some spotty showers on the muggy side down to 72. Tomorrow, not as hot. It's going to be warm, just not as hot. Some spotty storms for sure, 86. And then there are the better chances for storms on Saturday. Look at Sunday. Pretty good looking day. Even hotter on Monday, but then the middle part of next week features a significant cool down, so keep that in mind. Remember, always get the latest forecast. It's right there for you on the Fox 2 Weather app. You can download it for free right now or anytime in the App Store or in Google Play. Roop Taryn, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rich. Well, we have a news alert right now out of Inkster. Police are investigating after 3 people have been shot. It happened this evening in the area of Inkster Road and Colgate Street. Police are currently searching for a suspect. No word yet on the condition of those shot. Make sure you stay with Fox 2 for updates. Also tonight, a Fox 2 exclusive, a bombshell development in the race for mayor of Detroit.
We are learning about a past assault conviction for Pastor Solomon Kinloch. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is live tonight with the story. Jessica.
Well, Pastor Kinloch has quite the loyal following here in the city of Detroit, and part of that following is kind of built in as he is the head of the mega church behind me here, Triumph Church, multiple locations around the area with tens of thousands in the congregation. And for the first time, we're learning more about his past, which includes an assault and battery conviction against his ex-wife in 1993 when he was 19 years old. We've been poring over court records today, and this is what we found. Solomon Kinloch Jr. positioned as one of the frontrunners in the race for Detroit's next mayor. He's the head of Triumph Church, a mega church with a congregation into the tens of thousands across Metro Detroit. And now, for the first time publicly, an assault and battery conviction against him surfaces. Court records spell out a violent scene leading to felonious assault charges against Kinloch Jr. back in 1993 when he was 19 years old. Those charges eventually were pled down to assault and battery. The victim, his ex-wife. According to testimony from a Southfield police officer first on scene that February night, Kinloch Jr.'s ex-wife had scratches on her face, a bleeding cut on her finger, and a swollen foot, unable to walk. She told police Kinloch Jr. held her at knife point and wouldn't let her leave their apartment and hit her with the knife multiple times, then threw it at her and hurled a glass at her foot. Kinloch Jr. pled down the felony charges and was sentenced to 12 months probation. Oakland County court records show he violated his probation and had his sentence extended. He and his ex-wife divorced about 9 years after the conviction. A statement from a spokesperson with Kinloch's campaign says more than 30 years ago, as a 19-year-old, Pastor Kinloch made a mistake. He's never attempted to hide it or run from it. Rather, he has discussed it as part of his ministry and used it to help put countless others on the path to redemption. Pastor Kinloch preaches about second chances, forgiveness, and accepting that no one is perfect. Since we broke this story about an hour ago, I've been monitoring social media. A lot of folks say they still stand with Kinloch, saying that these charges and conviction, that is 30 years old, and that they're going to still support him when it comes to voting time. Now, according to the polls, depending on which you look at, he's either second or third in the pack in the race for mayor. Reporting live in Detroit, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
You know, in general elections, they call things like this an October surprise. This one right before a primary certainly can have an effect on people. However, one should also be reminded that if you're going to dig up something on one person and it starts getting dirty, someone else may decide to dig something up on somebody else as well.
Yeah, that's right, Roop. I've already taken several calls today about that, wondering if a relatively clean race will now change. We will, of course, stay on top of it.
We know that you will. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you. We're learning more after Southfield police bust a sex trafficking ring.
They say it spans several states and victimized multiple women. That's 33-year-old Randolph Lewis from Arlington, Texas. Wow, locked up in Southfield after injuring himself while in police custody. You saw that with the head injuries. He's facing sex trafficking charges. Southfield officers were called to the Quality Inn on Monday. That's where a 21-year-old woman told police Lewis had smashed her windshield when she brought him the wrong food order.
If you wanted to leave, would he have prevented you from leaving in some capacity?
Yeah.
Has he made threats to harm or kill you?
These victims, some as young as 17 years old, were coerced, threatened, and manipulated into a life of sex trafficking.
Police rescued 2 women in this case. Chief Barron says Lewis is responsible for sex trafficking at least 10 other women and had been advertising their services online.
Well, today in court, a man accused of causing a deadly crash is bound over for trial. Police say Anthony Greer Jr. tried to outrun police, then ran a red light before running into another vehicle. The crash killed 71-year-old Wendy Drew. This happened back on May 24th on Van Dyke. The officer who chased him took the stand today. He says he initially tried to pull Greer over for going 70 in a 40, but during the chase, he was going 114 miles per hour and pulling away. Today, the defense questioned the officer's decision to pursue.
You said the city of Warren deserved to be kept safe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are they kept safe when you're chasing a speeder at 114 miles per hour?
At that point, it wasn't a speeder, it was a criminal.
Right. It was a criminal matter because you initiated a high-speed chase, correct? It was a civil matter before that.
Again, reckless driving, not a civil issue. Criminal. Running from the police, criminal.
Greer is facing second-degree murder and other charges.
All right, take a look at this. A woman captures the moment Detroit police arrest a suspect on the east side this afternoon behind a home on Kilburn Street. Police say they pulled a vehicle over on Gratiot when the passenger from the vehicle just ran off. Officers used a K-9 unit to find the suspect that was hiding out in the garage. The woman who lives there says she just got home when the armed man went running through her yard.
I'm like, whoa, what's going on out here? And they're like, well, he tried to run away. And I'm like, why is he running in my yard? It took them a minute before they pulled him out. They didn't pull him out right away. They pulled him out a little bit later. So I say about good 5 minutes because I heard scuffling going on. And I'm like, what are they doing in my garage? I still didn't know.
A gun was recovered and the suspect was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon and obstructing police. The driver who was pulled over was cited and released.
Well, imagine the shock felt by Metro Detroiters and the world 50 years ago this month. That's when one of the most influential and powerful people in America disappeared.
What happened to Jimmy Hoffa? It's a mystery that's endured for a half a century. In our last hour, we took a look back at the search for the legendary labor leader.
James R. Hoffa, the mysterious trail ends abruptly here.
We're going to get to the bottom of this one way or the other. You can be assured of that.
It's been some 12 days since Mr. Hoffa has disappeared.
You got to remember, The Godfather had just come out, so there was kind of this infatuation with organized crime in this country.
I question whether we will ever find out the truth about what happened to Jimmy Hoffa.
And look at that. We'll have much more on Hoffa's life and disappearance on Fox 2 over the next several days. On Tuesday, on Fox 2 News at 10, make sure you tune in for my rare and revealing sit-down with Jimmy Hoffa's son, James P. Hoffa. That's Tuesday night, right here on Fox 2.
And you say rare.